The real reason my username on here is Pumpkinhead is not because of my orange hair or my very round head, but it's the fact that if I ever do get canceled, if you guys ever do try to cancel me on here, I don't think it'll work. Because if you try to look up my name on TikTok ever for any of my videos, the only thing that you'll find are all of those pictures of people who carved pumpkins and then put them on their heads for Halloween. So I don't think you're gonna cancel me. I think you're gonna cancel the pumpkin head trend. Prove my point, I'm gonna make a cancelable opinion right now. Are you ready? Puppies are ugly. I think they're stupid. I hate puppies. I hate them so. Questions about my couch. So here's my couch tour. This couch was purchased from a furniture store as the floor model. It's like a $400 couch. I got it for about $30 because of that. Everyone's telling me to just seam rip the different words on there, and we can't do that because each cushion is a different softness. This is the softest one, so you can test out all the different types before you decide which couch you want. Other fun features you may notice, there is one pleat skirt in case you want that. This side is square. This side is round. And only about a third of them have lining on them. So I could seam rip it all out, but it would take a really long time, and I would have no idea which cushion is which anymore. Anyone who didn't keep up to date with The Big Bang Theory back in the day, that show ended after a lot of seasons, and then Young Sheldon came out, which was a prequel to The Big Bang Theory of Sheldon's childhood, and in that show, we're introduced to his family and his siblings, specifically his older brother Georgie, who's 17 in the show. Georgie is a rebellious teenager, and one of the plot points in the TV show is that he sneaks into a bar that doesn't ID him, and he meets a girl there and lies and says he's 21, and they end up hooking up. The girl he hooks up with is also lying about her age, and she is 29, so it's a 17-year-old hooking up with a 29-year-old. It's a little odd of the writers to create a 12-year age gap for no real reason, but it's just one little plot point, right? Wrong. She gets pregnant, and so now he stays and marries her at 17. When she's 29. Fast forward a little bit, Young Sheldon ends, but they say, hey, we want to keep making money from this show. This was a big cash grab. So now they make a sequel to Young Sheldon called Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. In this show, they're constantly making jokes about their 12-year age gap, and they're also constantly hooking up and like making out and stuff, and it's really weird. It's a really weird premise for a show. It's one thing to write it as like a plot point, and it's another thing to create an entire show around it. The consequences of Big Bang Theory. I find it a little bit annoying when massive content creators take my videos that I make and spend time on, and all they do is duet them and go, yeah. Like, that's not you creating anything. A girl with almost 20 million followers took one of my videos without asking and put it on every single one of her platforms. I'm getting messages from lots of my friends. I'm on YouTube now, I'm on Snapchat now, I'm on Twitter now, all because she took my video and just sat next to it and reacted to it. Understand that when I put a video on the internet, it's public and people can do whatever they want with it. But using it to make your own content feels a little sleazy, especially when you didn't even ask me. I know that when you have 20 million followers and you're putting my video on several different platforms without adding anything to it, you're probably making thousands of dollars off of my content. Not doing anything, just mine. Not only that, but it's boring and it's basic. You're unable of thinking of your own content, so you're just taking mine and making money off of it. That's not cool. It's a little bit sleazy. Please stop using my ADHD meds to party. I need them. I've been trying to get my ADHD medication refilled for over a month. Today I called my doctor's office to see if there was a way to get my prescription changed to another medication that was more available. As I was explaining my situation to her, she was like, you called all the pharmacies in your area and none of them had it? And I listed off, I said, yeah, I called Cub Foods, I called the Target Pharmacy, I called the Walgreens Pharmacy, and I called one other chain of independent pharmacies, and none of them had any in the area. And she said deadpan, wow, 4 pharmacies. You know, a lot of our patients have to call several pharmacies. She also said, I can't change your medication that we're prescribing you or the amount that we're prescribing you so that you don't have to do this every month. You have to call your doctor and make an appointment to do that, and we're going to charge you $100 for that appointment, and then we're going to charge you $200 for the medication if it ever gets refilled. And then I said, I'm going to kill this. You want to hear a crazy fact I learned today? I want you to picture someone having a heart attack and what you think that would look like. You probably think of an older man, heartbeat going crazy, clutching his chest, has a numb arm. Guess what? Those symptoms of a heart attack are only for men. That's not to say that a woman having a heart attack couldn't have chest pain or a numb arm, but typically those are not the symptoms that women experience. When a woman has a heart attack, it's a lot more likely that it will look like nausea, fatigue, a severe lack of appetite. The pain that they experience is a lot more likely to be in their jaw and upper shoulders than it is in their chest, and they're a lot more likely to start coughing or wheezing. You may think to yourself, well, I just don't know those symptoms because it's way more common for men to get heart attacks. Wrong again! Statistically, men and women are just as likely to get heart attacks, and women are more likely to die from them. The past 3 years straight, the statistics have shown women dying from more fatal heart attacks than men. The thing that's insane about this is it is due in part to misdiagnosis. People do not know that their symptoms are symptoms of a heart attack, and they are not going to the doctor quick enough. That, paired with the woman trait of, oh, I'm fine, nothing's wrong, don't worry about me, leads to a higher rate of fatality. I thought that was important info to share, but also we can't have anything. We can't even have heart attacks without it being sexist. It really pisses me off that there's not a middle ground between child Lunchables and adult Lunchables. When you get to the trademarked OG Lunchable that you give to kids, my personal problem with it, and it is because I'm a picky eater, is that the meat and the cheese that they include in those are really processed, and it just kind of gives me the haws. It's like, I'm not for it. I know what you're gonna say to me. You're gonna say, hey, they make adult Lunchables with better quality meat and cheese inside of them. And I know they do, but you know what? Those are $9 each, and I don't need smoked black pepper salami. I just need slightly higher quality salami than Lunchable meat. The other problem I have with the adult Lunchables is they almost never come with a little treat inside of them. Normal Lunchables will give you like a Kit Kat or like a tiny square of chocolate or something. The adult Lunchables seem to have the impression that adults don't like treats. I love treats, and I need them to get through my day, so if somebody could create like a $4 adult Lunchable that just has normal cheese in it, and normal salami, and a little candy bar, and maybe like some cashews, I would really appreciate that. Please and thank you. Hey, my posts get like a lot of likes and views. Can I get paid for them? No, you need 10,000 followers first. You need to have the followers. Okay, I got 10,000 followers. Can I get paid for my videos now? Yeah, but we actually changed the policy, so now your video, it's gotta be a minute long at least, and everyone has to watch for the full minute, or you make no money. Okay, I guess I finally fit those requirements, and I finally had one of my 1-minute videos go viral, and I'm gonna get like 1 million views, so can you pay me the money you owe me, please? Disqualified. What did I do that violated the disqualified? Fuck you. Okay, can I like appeal? Because I didn't do anything against the rules, actually. This video is within the— Yeah, you can appeal. I dare ya. I'm gonna appeal. Rejected. I hate you. Okay. Thank you. A company that's offering a 4-year cruise with the whole idea being it's a way for people to completely skip Donald Trump's presidency. The cruise itself is called Skip Forward. And my first thought when I heard that was, how expensive is that? And the answer, shockingly, is pretty expensive. It costs over $250,000 to be on that cruise for 4 years. To have enough money to go on that cruise, you would have to make at least $65,000 a year and save all of that for 4 years. And just have that money lying around to spend. Based on that, Do we think the people going on this cruise to skip Donald Trump's presidency really need to be on there? Do we think putting a bunch of upper-class people on a boat together, isolating them together, and having them be weighted on hand and foot by, I'm assuming, lower-class people, is a good way to avoid Donald Trump's America? One of the packages that they're offering is literally called Escape Reality, and the idea of being privileged and rich enough to just completely escape the awful things that are going to be happening to a lot of people that just don't have that luxury, it's icky. It's icky, and you're part of the problem. Whenever there's a new Girl of the Month on here, it always follows the exact same timeline of girl turns freshly 18 or 19, and so now it's okay for us on the internet to sexualize her. And then that girl realizes that and falls into the heavy sexualization aspect, but also the infantilization thing, so it's very much the I'm a sexy baby kind of act, you know? But the men really, really like that. They all gravitate towards that, and at the same time, we'll be sure to see all of the women look at this girl, and instead of saying, it's weird that the men are so into a 19-year-old girl and are sexualizing her so heavily. No, that's not what we're gonna say. Instead, we're gonna say, that girl, she's a whore. And not only is she a whore, she's a talentless one. I very rarely actually see these Girls of the Month. I never get those videos on my page, but I always get videos of different women being like, look at that slut. That's the only content I ever see. You're not helping by shaming her. If your girlfriend sent you this, she wants you to pretend she didn't send it to you and it just came up in your feed naturally. These are things that your girlfriend wants you to do for her, but she doesn't want to ask you to do it. They should be surprises or nice gestures that she is not asking for. Starting very basic, if you have never gotten your girlfriend flowers, go get her flowers. She wants some. It is getting closer to fall and Halloween. Plan a spooky movie night for her. Get some cute Halloween-themed pajamas, put on a movie, cook a nice dinner for her. She wants a really cute stuffed animal, specifically maybe like a jelly cat stuffed animal that reminds you of her. Pandora has heart-shaped necklaces where you can write your initials in your handwriting and then they'll print it out and engrave it for you. She would love one of those. I bet if you picked out an outfit that you thought she looked good in and gave it to her, she would love that so much. Nothing super tight and uncomfortable, something actually cute. She would appreciate a home-cooked meal where you do all the dishes and also buy all of the groceries beforehand. She would like a night out where all you tell her is the dress code and then you pick her up and take her there. She doesn't have to do any of the planning and it's a nice surprise. She would love if you suggested going somewhere to take cute couples photos unprompted. If you plan a picnic for her with all of her favorite foods in a nice location, she'll freak out. Now remember, she didn't tell you all this. This is all a surprise, but she would love every single one of those things, and none of them are that hard to do, so get on it. However much you're spoiling your girlfriend while she's on her period, I want you to triple it. She takes birth control too that you reap the rewards of. I want you to quadruple it, 10 times it. Her feet should not touch the ground. You should be changing her tail. Do you know that women have a higher rate of fatality for heart attacks than men? And it's due in part to them assuming their symptoms are period symptoms. A woman can have a heart attack and just assume it's her period. It's not just cramps. I don't know if you guys know that. There's a lot of other period symptoms that we deal with every single cycle. My favorite is the really sharp stabbing pain you get in your back for no reason at all that feels like, oh, this is the end. You know, being on your period completely messes with your stomach too. Have you ever woken up from anesthesia in that mood where you just kind of sob at nothing at all? That's what it's like being on your period all the time. Yesterday I cried for 20 minutes. I could not give you a single reason I cried. I could not find one if I tried. It is your job not only to be okay with that, but to encourage it if necessary. None of this is your fault. None of this is your obligation. However, it's not ours either. So if you've got a girl and she's on her period, I expect you to treat her the best you physically can. That means ensuring there is a heating pad at your apartment at all times. You have tampons at the ready. The plastic ones, not the cardboard applicators. She should have pads to sleep with as well as backup underwear if she needs it. She should have chocolate or some sort of sweet treat purely because she deserves it, and I want to make sure that you make sure her iron count stays up. So cook her a really nice steak or something like that. Living and growing up in the commune was like being on heaven on earth.
Yeah, so around 4 years old is when they first started teaching us how to do the cooking and the cleaning. We got all this free space to roam around and play. I remember I was 5 the first time I got burned by a hot iron. There were free-range chickens that we got to chase around all the time. And then once we proved we were a good housewife, usually around 14, that's when we'd get married off. It was just a safe space where people were always watching out for each other. I was actually one of the younger ones at 12, and I got paired up with Father Johnson, who was 48. We had a good relationship with the police. You could wander the streets at night. He was nice enough, I guess. I didn't really like him. I didn't really think he was the husband for me. I guess I can't speak for others, but to me, everybody acted like a family. We were all in it together. Everyone was so kind, and there were no problems. By the time I had my 8th kid, I started to notice that something wasn't quite right. It was just a wholesome family place to be. His second wife was actually a 12-year-old, and she tried to beat me. For anyone not already aware, Steve-O, the jackass guy, is planning on getting double D breast implants soon. When you first hear that, there's a few reactions that come to mind. My first thought and fear is that when you have a straight guy getting breast implants, they're gonna find some way to make it a joke towards trans people. But upon reflection and upon looking into the interviews that Steve-O's done, it seems like he's just doing it because he wants to do it. There hasn't been really any reference to transgender people. There's been some reference to the argument of whether or not he's allowed to go shirtless, which, if anything, is just a body expression argument, and I'm kind of here for it. The argument that most people are making, and the one that I agree with, is he's just somebody who wants to do something to his body, and it's his body. Why does it matter? Why should we care? I'm all here for that. The thing that is hard about it is people have that reaction wholeheartedly and really aggressively when it's a guy like Steve-O doing it for the bit and doing it for fun. But his same semi-conservative male fan base from Jackass, do we think that they're as supportive of transgender people? Because I do not. I want to, but I don't have that much faith in them. Also, a side note, upon looking into it, Steve-O has been talking about this for years and years, his desire to get breast implants, so potentially it is not just a bit. If I see this bumper sticker on your car, I don't think you have a smart student. I think you're kind of a stupid parent. For those of you that don't know, the National Society of High School Scholars is an organization that where if you get 3.5 GPA or higher or do well on any AP or IB tests, if you're considered an honors student at all, you'll get sent a letter from this organization, and it'll have your school name listed on it, which makes it seem like it's through your high school, but it's not. And it'll say pay $75 and you get to become a member of this exclusive honor society that makes you look super good on your college applications. Important thing to note, the National Society of High School Scholars is not National Honor Society. That is a legitimate club that high schools run and focuses on volunteering and actually providing scholarship opportunities. This thing is just a fake scam to get people to pay $75. No college ever is gonna see that you're in that society and be impressed by it. They're gonna know that you had $75 and could be tricked into anything. That's all I'm getting from that. I'm gonna be honest, I would've just shit in the red bags. I don't think I would've made that much of a big deal about it. I watched the Poop Cruise documentary that they put out on Netflix, the one about the Carnival cruise where the engine room set on fire and it resulted in all of the power going out, which resulted in all of the toilets not being able to flush anymore. Practically every person in the documentary that they interviewed seemed a little bit insufferable. They seemed like they were annoying and they were probably rude to the waitstaff on the Carnival cruise. And for some reason, when they got to the point in their story where they had to talk about shitting in a bag because the toilets didn't flush anymore, they all talked about it like it was the most insane thing to ever happen to them. There was a guy that was like waiting days to go to the bathroom because he refused to shit in the bag. I feel like that's not the most outrageous request in the world. I feel like if you wake up in the middle of the night to alarms blaring and a massive fire on your boat,
Okay, yeah, I'll shit in a bag for a few days. I understand that it's an emergency situation. There's a guy that they interview who spends his whole time talking about how worried he is, about how his father-in-law perceives him. He's super, super worried about having to talk about using the bathroom in this way with his father-in-law because it's so awkward. You guys are on a boat together that almost blew up, and there's no AC, and you're getting awful food. I feel like you've broken past that barrier. I think you guys are okay. When you're hanging out with a guy and you guys are doing stuff and then you go, actually, I'm not really in the mood. I don't really feel like doing stuff right now. And the guy goes, that's fine. We can do whatever you want. We can put on TV. I totally respect that. No worries at all. Do whatever you want. And their reaction and them being so kind to you and listening when you tell them no instantly makes you go, hang on. Maybe I do kind of want to fuck that. It's honestly a really sad concept, but it teaches us in that moment that the man we're talking to at least understands the concept of consent. And weirdly enough, that's kind of hard to find. All of the women I know, their love language, it's not just like acts of service, okay? It's very specifically men just treating them like human beings and valuing them and respecting their decisions and their boundaries. Like, actually, yeah, that is really sexy. You caring about me as a person? That's maybe the hottest thing ever. Think that guy over there is cute? Yeah, you should go talk to him for sure. Just to let you know, he does have, like, a massive tattoo across his back of his own name. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you. Yeah, no, for sure, it's on his back, so you're not gonna see it all the time. Just to let you know, he does also have a big tattoo on his chest of himself as a baby wearing a crown that says God's child. Yeah, it's a bit much. I get it. It's a bit much. That guy, yeah, no, that's a nice guy. He's a pretty nice guy. He has this really, really big Planet of the Apes tattoo across his chest. It says ape shall not kill ape, and it's got a big picture of a monkey. I don't know if that's okay, that's fine. If you really want a tattooed guy, that guy has a full sleeve of the Joker. It's all the Joker references on his sleeve. Is that something you're into? No, I get it. Okay. This guy, his tattoos are all pretty normal, so that's good. He did cheat on 6 different women, though. Imagine if every little girl that ever posted a video on YouTube making her stuffed animals talk to each other was sued by the corporation that made those stuffed animals. There's a girl on TikTok that has almost 3 million followers with the account Sylvanian Drama, and her whole thing is she makes skits using the Sylvanian family characters, the little felted, soft animal figurines, and she makes them do silly, ridiculous adult things. Her videos get a lot of views and a lot of likes and have opened up a lot of new people to the Sylvanian toys. And as a result, the company has decided to sue her. I personally always think it's a really bad move for a corporation to take somebody that's using their product to show it to a whole new audience and then demonize them for it, because it makes the corporation seem like evil, bad guys. What they should be doing instead is saying, hey, you're bringing in a whole new market for us. Good job. Would you want to do an ad with us? Do you want to work with us to actually get more people buying the toys, and we'll pay you instead of you getting paid by other companies? I think one of the main arguments as to why they're suing her is because she has some adult content in the skits that she makes, and they're children's toys. They don't want that associated with their name, their brand. But the thing is, I personally think they're 2 entirely different markets. That's more of a TikTok issue, who's watching those videos, if they're children or if they're adults. But for the most part, they're adults. They're older teenagers and adults, and as a result, you have a whole new market of people who want to buy something because it's trendy and everyone else is buying it, which honestly is a bigger section of the market than children. Did she cross some legal barriers and accept some paid partnerships and use those toys to make skits for those paid partnerships? I don't really care, honestly. Maybe it wasn't fully legal, but I stand with the second a corporation villainizes the person playing with their toys, they ruin it. They ruin the toy company.